Well, it's certain to be a chilling conversation. A phone call from police telling someone they are on a so-called ISIS kill list. That list was published this month by a pro-ISIS hacker group. It has thousands of names from all over the world, and there are many Canadian names on it as well. CBC News has had an exclusive look at those names, and our senior correspondent Adrian Arsenault is here this morning with the details. Why don't we hold that up and explain what that stack of paper is?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's it?
This is it. 8,300 names that were published from an umbrella group of pro-ISIS hackers, if you will. These are names from all over the world, but it's a very strange collection. Most of them are from the United States. There are 6 from France, which doesn't make any sense at all. 151 Canadians. There's 1 person from Guatemala. It's a very weird, rather random list. In terms of the Canadians, we've been trying to break down the data a little bit because it includes the names, the email addresses, and the street addresses. So if we look at the email addresses in particular, we've learned that about 71% of them have in the past been breached. So maybe it was an email address that was used through and was hacked through the LinkedIn hack a couple years ago, or the one from MySpace, or the one from Adobe. Somehow, it surely appears a big data distribution list got passed around and ended up in the hands of these pro-ISIS hackers because many names repeat, oddly, so no one entered this manually. There is nothing that seems to unite these people for what they said or where they live or what they've done. It feels purely random, but you're not kidding. It is going to be a weird phone call.
How did this come to your attention? How did it become discovered?
Well, we know that in the last year and a half, 19 of these so-called lists have been published. Most of them have been very small, maybe only 20 or 30 names on them, and very targeted. Almost all have been aimed at Americans, police officers, transit police, military personnel, government workers. Then a couple months ago, various groups of these pro-ISIS hacker groups seemed to get bored with that and started releasing 4,000 random New York City residents with these very ominous messages. We will kill them all together. This one also came with a very ominous message. They're doing it because they know the effect it will have, particularly on the part of the people who will get that phone call, but especially on the part of the police who have to make that phone call. You know, there's a legal obligation for a police department to do the very best it can to find you if you're on the list. You're not, by the way, and to say, I'm terribly sorry, it is probably nothing, but your name is on this list. Please be vigilant, stay in touch with us. But again, it is probably nothing.
Well, that's an important point, because as I listen to the tone with you describing this, are police using that same, probably nothing, need not be alarmed, but at the same time, they have to react in all seriousness. So what are they saying about how we should interpret something like this?
They do have to react. Imagine the horror if they hadn't reacted and something had happened. But what they are telling people is there's no evidence anyone who's ever been on any of these lists has ever been hurt. They have some experience with this. In Ontario in particular, last year, there was a membership list from a skidoo club, of all things, that was breached. And that ended up in the hands of pro-ISIS hackers. And so the police had to call the members of the skidoo club and say, I know this sounds crazy, but they have some experience. People have been extremely reasonable with it. They realize that this is random. And people get hacked all the time. And sometimes it ends up in very strange hands.
Thanks so much for coming in this morning. What a headline it was, a real attention grabber. And if you want to read more about the story and Adrian's exclusive look at all of those pages and the Canadian names, there is more posted for you online, CBCNews.ca. You just follow the links to Adrian's report. Thanks again.